Okay, we are live here on the channel. Oh, I forgot to change it again for the lag.
Dadgummit.
I think I got it in right before. I did get it right in before it started streaming. So, yeah, it's only like 15 seconds behind now.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah, we're live on the um YouTube, Facebook page, and X.
Very
Waiting
good.
for people to show up.
Waiting for people to show up. So, would you rather deal with one dragon-sized unicorn or 10 unicorn-sized dragons?
Hey, Rob.
Hello, Rob.
One unicorn-sized dragon or 10 10 dragon-sized unicorns?
Yeah, one unicorn-sized dragon, or no, is it dragon-sized unicorn or the reverse, or 10 unicorn-sized dragons?
I guess one giant-sized unicorn would be fine. Why?
We were talking about uni earlier. uh, would you rather? Oh, you see one giant dragon. Okay, one giant unicorn.
Yeah,
So you like
definitely.
unicorns?
I don't, but I'd
Gotcha.
rather deal with them
Gotcha.
than 10 small dragons.
Why not deal with 10 small dragons?
Because 10
Contain
small
them and ride them.
I bet you want to ride those dragons.
Would you rather
Mm-hmm.
deal with 112 damage two-handed sword that hits half the time, or 1d4 dagger that hits all the time?
So every other attack, the two-handed sword's not going to hit.
No, it's half the time. So let's
Yeah.
say you hit, you have to roll percentile to see if it actually hits.
Hey, Rick's here.
Hey, Rick.
So you roll to hit, and you got to roll 50% chance to hit or not.
Yeah, whether it actually hits or not. Gotta love from the uni fans. He's just a little guy.
I think someone's character's dying on Saturday.
Is it mine?
No.
Is it dead?
I'm thinking I would rather do the two-handed sword.
Really?
I'll take that 50-50 chance to be able to do more than 4 points of damage.
You know, you hit with a two-handed sword, you still do 1 damage.
Yeah. But hey, that's a chance you take, right?
Yeah.
What about you?
I would probably take the dagger.
You want that constant 1d4 damage?
Yeah, 1d4 damage.
Yeah.
It does more penetration.
Oh.
Would you rather
Would I rather?
deal with a sea adventure or a desert adventure? See, in the sea adventure, you have to deal with mermaids. In the desert, you have to deal with mummies and dehydration.
I think the sea adventure.
You like the sea adventure? You don't want to go on sea?
Yeah, sure, why not?
You want to be on the deck?
There you go. Would you rather question time? It's on the bottom of the chat. Oh, Rick is feeling sick. Okay, Rick, I hope you feel better, man. So he made the live stream. He left work so he can join the live stream. That's what it was. Good, Rick.
Would you rather go exploring a cave if it meant that you would get more gold, or go to a temple which you would more likely get more magical items?
So magical items versus gold?
Yeah.
Now, is the gold a lot of gold, or just guarantees you there's some gold?
It's a guarantee that you'll get more gold.
Just more gold.
Yeah, and while the typical one is a chance of getting a magical item, not just like some a dagger of +1. I'm talking about like a pretty good, decent magical item.
But there's a chance you won't get a magical item.
Correct.
What's the percentage chance?
Uh, you know what? Just to make
50-50?
it fair, 50-50.
I'll go for the gold. I can always buy magical items.
You can.
Yeah.
In real life, I'd rather do a desert before a sea adventure. Why? Don't
Yeah, I
you
would
want to?
rather do the sea adventure before that.
Don't you want to deal with sea?
Oh.
No, I mean, oh, temples come on more often with curses, but then you get to go explore islands with hidden booty.
I like hidden booty.
Legends of the hidden booty.
Pirates of Dark Water and the hidden booty.
Why didn't they end that end it with that?
I don't know. I mean, they barely ended that show as it was, so
Do you think that if they were to bring back Pirates of the Caribbean, they would introduce like a Jack Sparrow type character?
you mean Pirates of Dark Water?
Yeah, Pirates of Dark Water.
No, they would not have.
You don't
They
think
already
so?
had that stupid fucking bird. The uni of
Nibbler?
that show. Yeah, Nibbler. The uni of that show.
Hey guys, I'm Nibbler. Didn't they have a Jack Sparrow type character anyway?
Not that I remember. They had the one dude that was the leader of the group, Ren, and then there was the chick. I can't think of her
And then
name.
the chick and the other dude and Nibbler who liked the Minga melons.
Yeah, and then there was Bloth, the pirate, the disgusting pirate.
Let's see. There were characters. Of course, like you said, there was Ren. Niddler. Niddler. And there was Tula.
I was gonna say, yeah, I thought it was a T, but I couldn't remember what the name was.
And there was Ios.
Ios, yeah.
Ios was like, I guess, the scruffier version of Jack Sparrow.
No, he wasn't a drunk. He was just like he was basically a crabby old guy.
He was just an asshole.
I guess so because he was very crabby. He was like, "Rah, rah, rah," always complaining and everything. And
And then there was everyone's favorite, Conk.
oh, that was the little guy with Bloth, right?
Yeah, played by Tim Curry. Conk. Everybody's favorite.
Am I trying to make Sparky and the Starfinder game into Uni? No, Sparky has a purpose. I just can't say his purpose at the moment.
And he's gonna get better.
He annoyed the shit out of Corey in that game.
He is going to have an alert system put into him to make
Oh,
sure
he is.
everybody is alerted to danger. So every time he says it's danger, they're gonna get alerted somehow. I won't say how, but I'll have to work with Vince.
I like how I was just like he's putting on his spacesuit. He's staring at you. Corey's just like okay.
I slowly start covering myself. Stop looking.
Oh. Yeah, it's a Starfinder game is pretty good. I know some people have mentioned that everybody kind of feels very generic. So
Why? I don't feel generic whatsoever.
well, yeah, your character is a lot. I think it's because everybody's playing similar type characters. Like your character is built to, repair stuff, sneak around. You're like a covert person. And what Corey, Steven, and even Rick's character are all ranged characters, so they kind of feel like the same type of character almost.
He's a taser, so every time he says it's danger, there's a taser that comes out. Just zaps the shit out of Corey every single time. I feel danger. Ah! Take 1d4 damage.
The taser's between his legs. He shoots it out.
Corey's character's asleep, then all of a sudden, tease. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought there was danger.
He's gonna kill you. He's gonna destroy that robot, but he won't be able to.
But no, yeah, I enjoy the character very much. I don't know why everyone else does it. Feels so generic. I guess you guys discussed that when I left.
Yeah, I was discussing it with a few people. They've kind of felt a little generic, but it's I understand.
Well, they're
You're
all
all
common.
first level anyway, so
Oh yeah, that's true. But then again, I mean, one, they chose kind of the same thing they usually do, and two, um, they just perform the same actions.
well, I mean, when you're built for range, then you have to do range, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could always spice it up. You don't always have to shoot a gun. You know, you could throw something, throw a chair.
What are you, a wrestler? Throw a chair?
Hey, I mean,
You won't get a lot of damage for it. That's the
you won't get
problem.
any damage, but hey, at least it's a chair.
But you know how most people are. They want to do damage. They want to do something. They don't want to just throw something and do nothing.
You know, I know what the problem is the fact that we're rolling on the game. They weren't rolling their own dice, quote unquote.
Did I mention once that you had to roll on there?
You did not.
No. I said you can use it if you'd like, but you don't have to. And then everyone's like, "Oh, just use it because it's in game." And then everyone's rolling ones and sixes and fives.
Yeah, they don't like that. They want to be rolling their 20s.
I was expecting some people to be like, "Oh, look at that! I got a 20," and nobody did it, so I was
Uh,
happy.
Sarah just automatically jumped on that. I can't use the system. It has only once. Then turns around and rolls 15 and 17. No, look, Sarah.
I mean, yeah, the dice rollers sometimes just roll low. I don't know why.
Well, because it's random. It's not like you're actually rolling a dice. It's based off of you know computer code and whatnot.
Well, I mean, it's just a random number you're picking. So,
Right. People people just like their dice better.
oh yeah,
Uh,
if it comes to rolling dice, I like just taking my little die and whoop, rolling it right here in this little my little thing right here that I have.
oh, that's your little thing, huh?
That's my little thingy.
Um,
Go on.
we're reading what they say. I give players a chance to roll their own dice, but for some reason most don't.
Yeah, I've always said when we play online, roll your own dice. I mean, if you're gonna cheat, you're only really cheating yourself out of an
Mm.
experience in the game. If you want to cheat and that's your way to play the game, cheat. Obviously, I'm going to figure it out when Jeff's like, not you, I'm just using you as an example right now, Jeff.
Right.
When you're like, I got a 20, and I'm like, okay, cool, Jeff, that's double damage. Like, cool. The next turn, oh, look at that, I got another 20. And I'm like, okay. And then Jeff's third turn, I got another 20. Yeah, okay, Jeff. No, you did not. But you understand.
There's 5 different 20-siders. Uh,
Throwing things is strength based to hit is not good for Captain Jack. I've rolled my dice and I must have used 5 different 20. Yeah, you kept using different dice that game. So
oh, you're gonna talk about your character. Yeah, yeah. No, I just go with what the program says. If the program says I missed, then I miss. If
yeah.
the program says I rolled a 1, then I rolled a 1. I can't hide it. I'm not cheating myself, and I'm not cheating my fellow players.
No,
Because
I mean, I got to say that probably in the group, and I'm not including new people in the group because I don't really know them, but out of the original group, you're probably one of the only people that I've never seen ever cheat. And I've seen everyone else cheat at least once. So
I
it's
mean,
not that hard to tell.
it's a game of chance. You gotta play how the game plays. I mean, you don't have to, but it gives the game more of a lively experience. That's why you kind of role play your way around certain situations. Like if I had known that creature came back to life, was it the we were gone from the station? Was it a new creature or was it the same creature?
I don't know. I can't tell you.
We were not planning on going back there.
Uh Cheating to win is a hollow victory, robbing oneself of real pleasure of the great rolls and the fun of the rare victory. I know, I agree with that 100%. You're just cheating yourself. But if that's the way you play, then what am I going to do? Nothing. So,
Well, it's also like if you cheat, right? Uh, you're also losing a chance to for great experiences. Like there has to be a loser in in Monopoly. So it's all
yeah.
part of the fun of the game. If your character dies, it dies. Sorry, I mean,
I never started cheating. You may fool yourself. Yeah, exactly. You can fool others, but you're never really fooling yourself. But if that's the way you need to play the game, play the game. Obviously, we're going to know eventually what's
it
going
also
on.
feels like
World
it's.
of Wonders is here.
Hi, what's
Worlds
it,
of
Chris?
Wonder games, excuse me. Failing and overcoming failure is a big part of any game. Exactly. Anytime that you fail, you can have better stories than actually succeeding at things. It's just some of the fun things that happen.
Yeah, I agree with Rick the most. It's like if you cheat to win, it's a hollow victory. You feel good now, but then you're like, it's like an addiction almost. If you have to cheat, you have to continue cheating.
There's a lot of times as a DM that I've had to change the number because I probably would have killed you guys various times.
Oh yeah, no doubt. But there's a difference between fudging and cheating. It's like this character's acting a little bit more like an ass. Maybe the monster does hit them, or he's close on dying. Maybe I should fudge that a little bit more.
Or maybe I'm just annoyed at Corey and he needs to die.
Well, that's why you build like Sparky characters. Well, it
Yeah.
was it was D&D, which I made that gnome.
Oh, that annoying gnome that we played for Advanced Dungeons and Dragons that was taking down notes constantly.
Corey hated the shit out of him.
Yeah, because you reported everything back to nobody. Actually,
There was nobody he reported it back to.
you were supposed to be doing an audit on the group. With that was your character thing, but you were never reporting back to anybody
Because
because
we
there really
never
was
go
no one to report back to.
right. Well, there was a town he could always go back to, but we were nowhere close to that town.
Yeah, between cheating and fudging, there definitely is a difference. I mean, I have a special dice. If I just want to kill Corey, I'll just use the double-sided D20 right here and just use it for. No, I'm
Lord
kidding.
Falk. That's right. Lord Falk.
Uh, yes, that's right, Lord Falk.
You loved Lord Falk just because how pissed off he made Corey.
And you can listen to all these things and more by going to rollhigherdie.com. We have all those actual plays up, and you can go listen to all of them right now. Well, not right now, but later. Right, Jeff? Later, later.
Yeah, later. When we were playing when we actually met together.
What?
That's right.
Yeah, that was back when we were playing in person at my house, and then COVID decided to change that situation.
Thanks lockdowns. But
Hey, there might be
yeah,
more coming. So
shut your front door.
the monkeypox are lurking, Jeff.
I mean, someone. I don't really want to go into the subject, but yeah, it's just someone said it best. The best way to keep away from getting monkeypox is don't be a slut.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, I don't know what kind of mask you need to wear to sub tap, but yeah, just don't be promiscuous.
Do you want to talk about the game tonight?
We can talk about the game. We can continue on playing memory of things we remember about like G.I. Joe and
No, you know what
Kool Aid.
I'm talking about. Mini Six.
Oh yeah, we can talk about mini sticks. I
All right.
just read it not too long ago.
Yeah, Mini Six is actually a pretty cool game. I've talked about it many times of how wonderful this game is. It's by Anti Paladin Games, and this is the bare bones edition. Yeah, I agree. Screw the lockdown BS. You're right, Rick. Screw that.
Rick, what kind of mask do you think they'll have to stop the monkeypox?
I could say, but I'd probably get, stricken down for it. So.
What would Dr. Do recommend for monkeypox? Hey, just close your legs, man.
There's your answer in our private chat.
Was it shut up?
So Mini 6 is a D6 based game as part of the Open D6 family. It's a very slimlined D6 system. Now, if you've ever played any of the D6 games, such as Star Wars or D6 Fantasy, D6 Adventure, D6 Space, I'm trying to think of another D6 game. That's Ghostbusters, Men in Black, Hercules and Xena. Well, that's a little bit of a different system, but close enough. Then stay away from monkey fuckers. No, I don't think that's going to be the thing.
Oh, you're the first one to break the F code.
I said anyway. So this
you can't stop now.
Yeah. So this is free on Drive Through RPG. You can get this. It's about 30 something pages. A couple of it's just obviously the open gaming license. It falls under that. And
well, let's go for this first page. The cover, right?
you want to talk about the cover? Okay, let's talk about the cover.
Pretty interesting. What do we got here? We got an alien chick, an elf, a ninja, robot. What's that thing in pink? Gorilla Grodd? Yeah. All humans will fall to the monkeypox. We call it ape pox.
The thing in pink is someone's hair, I thought.
Is it?
Wait, we talk about this right here or this over here?
Let me zoom in. Oh, I guess it's an elf.
Yeah, it looks like a wild elf with pink hair.
Is she attached to the one holding the sword? It's the one holding the sword. Is that Saren?
I'm assuming the guy holding the sword is this guy right here.
Yeah.
Because of the perspective of how large he is. His sword actually looks really weird, though.
Looks like a weird scimitar.
Mm-hmm. All bow to Grodd. I'll give you monkeypox. Wow. So,
no, Grodd, no.
Come here for Grodd. Bend down. Oh, whoa, Grodd. What are we talking about?
Before Grodd.
No.
But
let Grodd move fur out of way. Oh, sorry.
Whoa.
Might smell little. Anyway. So that's the front covers. There's a person over here doing a kick. I'm guessing that's some type of
very
alien.
Action oriented, I would say.
Yeah, it's kind of reminds me of like a really messed up Charlie's Angel thing going on here.
Yeah, I can see that.
Grodd's laughing Wuhan. Shh. We won't talk about that.
Grodd really liked the lo mein.
Grodd like spare ribs for dinner.
Can you pass Grodd the egg rolls?
Well, Grodd's he's very polite. I have to say that.
Yeah, he does. But he picks it up with his foot, so.
Ugh. Then we get a black and white version of it, but turned around.
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, there's no thinkers when it comes to this picture. It's just action. Pure action.
Yeah. Then we got the forward by Phil and Ray. Now, my understanding after talking to the creator of this, his partner Phil, who wrote it with him, did pass away. So it's only Ray who's running the whole thing right now.
Okay.
He did make an update to this called Bear Knuckle edition, it's called. But he never released it. It's kind of just he put it up for free because this is for free anyway. So,
That's
and I,
good.
hmm?
I said that's good.
Yeah, I don't think he was planning on ever selling it. This is he basically mainly did this so that there was a toolkit for people to have. It was kind of before the Open D6 started releasing every, and then Eric Gibson of West End Games actually wound up releasing all of the D6 stuff under the Open Gaming license for D6. So much how D20 has an Open Gaming license and OGL, so does D6 as well.
Eric Gibson, if you're listening, we really enjoyed your D6 games from West End Games.
He was probably I'm going to say the third owner of West End Games at this point.
That's signed Eric Gibson.
And then he kind of let the company go to the side because of they kind of ran out of money and had a bad Kickstarter that happened, and I guess the company folded. Yeah, I know you play one at a time, but I play multiple games at once, and this is one of the games I've been playing for over years because it's so simple to play, and it's probably my favorite D6 game to play. We get the usual definition of terms and stuff like that for the book, and they have some sample characters and sample settings. But let's get into the actual dice basics in here. This only has 4 attributes.
Don't do it.
4 attributes, as someone else would say that we know, and that's all it really needs: might, agility, wit, and charm. And the creator of this game encourages you to change that if you want. Change it to whatever you want. Might can be power, agility can be dexterity, wit could be intelligence, and charm could be social. It's really up to
Mm-hmm.
you. Distribute 12 dice among them. No attribute can go over 4. And then you have 7 dice to put into skills. And then skills are listed. They're very, very brief. And these are all the skills that they have for the game as an example. And again, they encourage you to make up more skills that'll fit your game as the GM.
Yep.
Don't get too specific because then it gets a little crazy. But obviously, you looked at these skills, Jeff, and you probably said, well, what about this or that? And in your
No,
head.
actually, I thought it pretty much covered everything.
Yeah.
I would say if you're going to add more attributes to this or tributes to this, I say, would you need to increase the distribution?
If I was going to add more attributes to the game,
Yeah. Would you
yeah,
need
you would.
more dice to
Yeah,
add?
you would. Mm-hmm. If say you were going to add a 5th one, you would have to add more dice to the game. I would say probably another 3 dice to
Yeah.
distribute among them.
Because
That's all.
if you distribute them evenly, each of them would have 3.
Mm-hmm.
So if you add another one, add another 3 dice. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. When are we going to play some D6? Well, I was thinking about after we get through the whole cycle of games, which is tributes. So we're playing Starfinder right now. Then we're going to play Call of Cthulhu. That'll probably last about 4 sessions the way you guys play, and then we'll have to make up a new character for a new game anyway. So I was thinking about doing D6, mini 6 fantasy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, you read it. What did you think? Do you think it'd be pretty easy to play, right?
I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's customizable as hell, which is awesome.
You can take this book right here, Jeff.
Can I?
And
Thank you.
You can take this book. Shut up. And make the game that you wanted to make and put it up.
Yeah. It can go with any setting you want. Even
No, I'm
has
talking about the
different
game that
genres.
you wanted to make. You said you wanted to make a game. Here's this toolkit for you to make the game that you wanted to make. Right here.
I wanted to make adventures. I didn't want to make games.
Oh, well, excuse me. Then fine, you can make up adventures for the game that I make. How's that?
Well, there is this one adventure I keep talking about, but we talked about it on a
Or
on
give
a
her a glass of water. I'll have to compare this to Easy D6. I think this is better than Easy D6 in my opinion, but that's my opinion. Yes, Jeff.
uh no, I was just talking about we did a membership thing a while ago where we would make up scenarios for people, and I keep bringing up this one scenario about a planet I developed. I thought up of where a guy makes a wish where his son, where his city would be on literally on top of the world. He said, make my city the highest point that anybody could reach." And so the whatever the wish he made rotated the planet so it ran on its northwest axis and north south axis instead of its usual east to west. So it's like a constantly rolling bowling ball sort of.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so his city turned towards the sun. So his city never leaves the apex of the sun. His city essentially is a burning town forever. Well,
Forever.
until the adventurers get all the pieces and fix the planet. But yeah, I made it different geographical uh, topography depends on where you are in relationship to the sun,
Mm.
and the direction we go instead of northeast southwest would be towards, away, with, against. So you go towards the sun, away from the sun. You would go with the rotation or against the rotation of the planet.
Okay.
Um, but it was divided up kind of like layers in a cake. So, like I said, his city was basically on fire until the heroes saved the world. And then you go a little bit further away, and it's just blistering sands and dunes. A little bit further away, you get a little bit more rocky terrain, maybe a little bit cliffs, more arid. And you want to read that?
Yeah, people really like to have pre-made adventures for games more so than I ever realized in my young gaming days. Oh, Rick was so young back then. We didn't have access to, despite being TSR. Yeah, TSR was being local to you. Why didn't you have? They closed the Dungeon Hobby Shop. Oh, okay. I was gonna say you lived in the area of all that, so.
Anyway, the further you get away, you get more vegetation. Like you go into a savanna, then a swamp, then you get the ocean, which is like in between uh, the far and away, or
Mm-hmm.
the near and away. Then you go to mountain forest, and it was a jungle, ocean, forest, hill country, because you could actually grow food there. Mountains, tundra, and then just ice. So the backside of the planet would just there's no sun reaches it whatsoever. So it'd just be a large sheet of ice.
Alrighty.
So that goes that's my a little adventure there.
I was about 14 then. Oh, okay. So anyway, they have a wild die just like in Star Wars, second edition and revised edition, second edition, and Ghostbusters and all the other D6 games that came after Star Wars first edition. So you have that ability there as well. They do allow skill specializations, but not for combat skills because combat skills are pretty much narrowed down to what it is. I mean, I don't
Hmm.
really know how you can do like knife, like small knife or little knife versus big knife. It's the same damage, really.
Well, I
So
mean, there are different types of knives. I mean, there's a pocket
no,
knife versus a Bowie knife.
no, you just use knife. That's it. The game doesn't allow. I mean, you can allow it as a DM. Obviously, you do whatever you want in your game.
Well, and I would say brawling, there's definitely deserves a specialization. There's a major difference between karate and jujitsu and street fighting.
Well, then your game, you do that. You can do whatever you want. You're allowed. It's your game. But I would just leave it as is, probably. Or if that, I would break up rolling into certain things like you said, kung fu or boxing or something like that.
Right.
But
No, you
don't
don't
leave.
really use your feet in boxing, do you?
I mean, you could.
If you use your feet in boxing, then it's no longer boxing; it's kickboxing.
Exactly. But if you're on the streets, who cares if you're using your feet versus not? So
Well, there's a major difference. If you know that someone's not going to kick, wouldn't you go for their legs more often?
depending.
Okay, so you would think you're a smart enough guy. You can plan around them not using their fist or not using their legs.
Right. There's also perks in the game too. And
Just
perks
gotta
are
go past
I need to move on. I'm just
that.
it's you're dragging it into the ground. I get it now. I get
Why? Talk more about this brawling stuff.
it. No. But this is not the van we're parking outside the store, Jeff.
This is a shiny coin in the middle of the room. We have to
Uh,
discuss this.
I like the fact that every time I give a situation like that, all of you guys start talking about it and you piss Corey and our group the fuck off with that.
Because he wants to go, go, go. And the last time he did it, he almost got his ass killed.
They did.
Oh,
You're
you should
right.
have let him die. That would have been the funniest thing.
I mean, yeah, everyone actually said I should have killed him, but no.
Have I ever played Palladium's Ninjas Super Spies? Tons of martial arts in there. We were talking about it at one time, playing it, but we decided on something else.
We were gonna play Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, yeah.
Yeah.
We actually played something else. I think we played. I don't remember at the time. It was a weird vote system, and I think I just picked the deciding thing for what we were going to play.
Are you talking about that one vote where everyone picked Robotron and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? And
Robotech.
you're like, yeah. And you're like, we're not going to do either of those, so we're going to play a different game. It's like, why'd you put the vote out there?
I don't know. There are perks. So perks are like
So going back to
advantages.
brawling.
Perks are like advantages that help your character and round them out. You can have racial perks. So when you're playing fantasy, you can have a dwarf, an elf, a reptoid, or even a robot if you're playing in a sci-fi world.
I said those
And
fantasy robots, yeah.
in the sci-fi world, but perks also take up dice to do them. So they take up skill dice.
So yeah,
So
what I mean, I see the different numbers beside them. What they mean?
that's how many skill dice it takes. So you start with 7.
7 perk and skill dice.
No, you start. Yeah, well, yeah. Essentially, you start with 7 skill dice to distribute among these skills,
Uh huh.
or you can take some of them and give yourself perks. It doesn't have to be a racial perk. It can be a general one.
Okay.
Like they list here: attractive, daredevil, destiny, favors, and everything like that. There's also complications that give you points back.
Well, hold on. Before we go to complications, can you make up your own perks or racial perks too?
Yeah, sure.
What if I didn't want to play an elf or a dwarf or a robot? What if I want to play a unicorn?
I would say get the fuck out of the way from my table.
What if I want to play a halfling?
That's fine. We can make a halfling up for you.
You can make up your own perks.
Yeah. Well, the GM would have to make them up, but yeah, I would sit with you and be like, okay, what do you want to play? A halfling? Okay, it'll cost you probably 2 points,
2 points. Okay.
maybe 1 point. I don't know, depending. I might even just, if we're playing in a fantasy world, I might even just say you can have the racial perk for free.
Ooh.
Like if you want to, if I would probably give you 2 options, and the option would be you can have a racial perk for free or be a human and have an extra point.
Ooh, you're generous.
Yeah, I would do
You
that
should
to
call yourself the
encourage.
generous DM.
They already have one of those out there, actually. There's all kinds of DMs out there. There's the generous, there's the kind, there's the cool, there's the sad DM. It's just like, give me a break.
The sad DM. Hey guys, I'm the sad DM.
I think I've even seen the depressed DM. I'm like, oh my god.
Whoa. Like,
Hey guys, we're gonna play today,
we're
and
not making fun of him. We're just saying that's a very awkward choice to make
yeah, I know.
for your
No, I
YouTube
was
channel.
actually making fun of them, but anyway,
Jeez.
I didn't say
No
YouTube
wonder
channel.
they're
I just
depressed,
said
DM.
on X. I've seen them on X.
Oh my goodness. I mean, no wonder they're so depressed. Everyone was making fun of their name.
Yeah, this is the quirk, counter quirk, merit flaw, perk, complication system going on here. Let's see here. Complications you can only pick during character creation or if you get assigned to by the GM. They really grant no additional dice during character creation, but I've always given characters a point for taking complications because you don't have to take them,
Right.
but you do get some points in game for making them work. So,
And just like we were talking about the perks, can we also make up their own complications?
oh yeah, yeah, it's encouraged.
You make up your own complications like boring. Your character's very boring.
And
You're
okay,
like the Ben Stein of the group. Hey guys, I'm here.
the schizophrenic GM brings his own players.
No, Tony, I said you can't roll on that. You just talking to a bunch of people. Just talking to a bunch of chairs.
Just talking to a bunch of empty chairs, yeah. Just pointing around to people. Jeff, who are you talking to? None of your business.
Paranoid too. Why are you asking those questions? Are you with the government?
Are you lizard people?
Uh,
Spider people.
oh, that's if
Uh,
you're Australian.
yeah, if you're Australian, we don't have our Australian representation here tonight, so
Oh, what the fuck, dude? We miss
I
you.
don't know. You
Come
go
back
look
to
the
us.
curious up and be like, dude, where are you? He's probably
Come up here.
sleeping. You remember, this is like 8 a.m. for him, so bland
There
and
is
unremarkable is good for a thief. Yeah, I guess so. You wouldn't be able to recognize him or stand
there's
out.
an actual X-Men, right? An X-Men in Marvel Comics called Forget Me Not.
There is? Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Not Marvel. He is a mutant that works that is actually a part of the X-Men, but because of his mutant powers, no one remembers he's an X-Man.
Really?
Yeah. So what he'll do is he'll go in and clean up a lot of the stuff that the X-Men do. But because his superpower is no one remembers him, he just does behind the scenes work all the time.
Huh.
Even Charles Xavier doesn't remember that he's part of the students.
He's like, who's that guy that does all that cleaning? We told you yesterday, Professor. it's it's Tom. Oh yes, tell Tom. What's his name? Tom. Oh okay.
Well, as
When
soon
did
as
we
he
bring
leaves the
him?
room, no one remembers that he's there anyway.
That's a sad power to have. I mean,
It is. His name is Zibby. Zabby.
Z-
Wow.
Zabby,
Zabby, yeah. X XABI.
Zaby. I don't know. Who
Something like
cares?
that.
We don't
But
remember
yeah,
him anyway. So
Forget Me Not.
then we have our gear, and this is just a generic list of gear. Make up your own. It basically tells you beg the GM if there's something not there to make it up.
Where does it say big the GM?
For anything else, beg the GM. Right there.
In this fantasy world of ours, can I have a laser cannon?
No, you cannot.
Fuck. But then how am I supposed to have fun?
Go find another table to play at.
Oh, gatekeep.
Uh huh. I'm gonna
This DM
gatekeep.
doesn't want me to have my laser cannon in a fantasy world.
So here are your target numbers for non-combat challenges. Standard pretty much for D6 to have these different things. So we talk about what combat is exactly, scaling how big things can be. Generally, everything is 0 scale dice, unless there's like dragons or wagons or big dragons, and it adds more dice to their dodge and their soak. So
Hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. So this game has soak.
yeah, I'll get to that. And I'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
That's more under the combat section. So this tells you how you do it. So I hate when games did this back in the old days. Declare actions for the round, then roll initiative, then go for your actions. I always hated this. I've always thought that just takes up too much time to sit on the table. Jeff, what are you going to do? All right, Tom, what are you going to do? All right, Bill, what are you going to do? It's just like, no, just on your turn, tell me what you're going to do. I never liked that. That's why I've always skipped that. Because the way
Well,
we should have been playing older games is going around the table and telling everybody, what's your action? So,
it also makes it more difficult, in my opinion, because you don't know exactly how the opponents are going to react to your actions. So, say Bill attacks, and then the 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 opponents take cover. Well, if I decide to talk to him, if I declare that I want to talk to him, uh, everyone's taking cover. So, how's that going to work out?
yeah, it doesn't. So, it has the multiple actions, just like anything. If you take multiple actions, just minus dice for every action you take. Let's see, movement 15 feet free, and or if you want to move 30 feet, then it costs one of your move actions. So it's a little bit less than normal, but that's how they put it in this game. And obviously, you're the GM, so you could change that. I think 30 feet should be able to be moved as a free action. 15 feet, I think, is too short, in my opinion. What do you think?
Uh, so you get to either move uh was it 3 squares or 3 squares or 6.
Right.
I mean that's fair.
And you could roll your athletic skill to see if you can go faster.
I would say 15 feet movement in a combat situation with swords and magic going off. 15 feet's a pretty good distance because you're dodging arrows, dodging magic missiles. Make sure you don't get hit by a sword randomly.
Yeah, Rick agrees
You
with you. It takes so much time. The
I mean,
declare
if you're
actions.
if you're not carrying and you just making a dash, 30 feet in what? How long is a round? 10 seconds.
Yeah, 10 seconds.
30 feet in 10 seconds is not bad.
10 seconds, Rick. 10 seconds. Or you can do 30 feet if you're basically running or using the cost of an action. No, 10 seconds.
10.
Yeah, it's right here. 10 seconds. A round is considered 10 seconds.
Approximately 10 seconds.
Shut up.
So you have to approximate that it's 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's 10 seconds. You get 3 to 7 points depending on the game. As experience, you don't give out pips or dice. I mean, I guess you could.
Also depends on your complication if your DM decides to put in your complication.
Yeah, you probably could, but I think it's taking into consideration here 3 to 7 if you're putting in the complications.
It
But
says
I mean, you could probably get more, but they
yeah,
generally suggest 3 to 7 because they don't want people leveling up too fast.
pulling a Corey.
Yeah. But it takes, and with D6, if we did it correctly, we would have never got to the point that we got to. And that was one thing that I kept saying. You sure you don't want to go back and change it? You sure you don't want to go back and change it? You still have time. No, 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 no. It's fine. All right, whatever.
Well, he couldn't have done that. It might have taken him about an hour.
Yeah. So you spend character points. It takes a lot to move up. Like if you were going to move up from a 3D1 to a 3D2, it costs you 30 character points just to do that. Just as an example.
So yeah, so you can't just you know overpower your character.
No,
Uh,
it's 10 times the dice number for the attribute to raise it by 1 pip.
so to go from 3D2 to 40 would be what 40 CP.
Um, So you have to do it in step increments. You can't skip.
No, I'm
That's
saying I understand the increments, but um,
so you would have to go from 1 to 2, pay that points, then 2 to 3, pay those points. So it'd be 60 to get to 3, which would make you 4D. Do you understand?
say that again.
So if you're going from 3D plus 1 to 3 to 4, because once you hit 3, it automatically becomes 4 dice. You're going to pay 30 character points to get to 3D plus 2.
Right.
And now, say you want to go to 4, you're going to pay another 30 character points to get to 4, which will be also be plus 3, but you don't actually put plus 3.
All right. So to get to 3D plus 2 would be 30. So to get to 4D plus 1 would be 40, right?
No. Well, you have to do it in step increments, though.
That's what I'm saying, though. If
70,
you were to go to 3D plus 2 to 4D, right? Would it cost you 40 or 30 character points?
if you're going from plus 2 to 4 dice, it would cost you 30 character points.
30 character points. Okay.
But if you wanted to go to plus 1 on the 4D, that'd be an additional 40 points.
So 100 points to go from 3D plus 1 to 4D plus 1. Gotcha.
Yeah. But they tell you not to allow more than 1 pip raise per session. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you could, if you're the GM, you can say, yeah, okay, don't worry about it. Because it
Well, I
says no
mean,
skill may be increased by more than 1 pip per session. Yeah, it can only raise it up by 1 pip. So,
but if you're getting 3 to 7, maybe even 10 points per session, you're not going to jump up that much that fast anyway.
nope. Like our characters were way OP because of
Uh huh.
the way that he had given out experience to us. Hey, Chris is here. Welcome,
Hey,
Chris.
Chris.
Corey's homemade RPG would take about an hour for character creation, probably. There's also, you know how we had in Star Wars, we had force points.
Yeah.
There's hero points in this game instead,
Ah.
and it's the same thing. You spend a hero point before any roll. You can do various things like add +6 to a single roll, or you could once per combat you can use the hero point to reduce the severity of wounds. You can also use it to buy a clue if you're really stuck.
Can I use those in real life?
If you really want to, sure.
I need a clue on several things.
I need a clue in life. Yeah, he gave. Unfortunately, he gave it out like
No, he
it
didn't
was
give pips. He gave dice out.
a lot of times he was like, "Oh, you guys can have like 5 pips." That's a lot. Think about that. So, depending on how you do it, that could be a lot. So, there's a healing. There's natural healing, then there's assisted healing, which medicine or natural healing is just resting. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so here's the part that I really like about Mini 6 is they have the traditional open D6 combat, which allows you to roll everything out, including block, parry, dodge, everything like that, and also resisting damage. Remember when we got hit in Star Wars, you'd have to sometimes see if you can resist the damage and how much damage you actually took versus the resist roll.
Right.
And it was kind of kind of confusing at some points because of the way it was explained.
Come to find
Well,
out that Wookiees can take the most damage.
yeah, they can take the most damage over hitting it with thousands of points of damage, obviously. Mini 6 has fast static combat, which basically mimics, say, D&D, for example.
Uh-huh.
There's a number of block, there's a dodge, there's a parry, and a soak. A soak would be the equivalent of rolling resist damage in regular D6. So if I hit you, Jeff, and I wind up getting through, and I do like, I don't know, say 10 points of damage, and you have a soak of 5, you'd only take 5 points of damage.
Right.
That's it. And it has the wound levels as well: stunned, wounds, severely wounded, incapacitated, mortally wounded, and dead. And you could do it by points. or you can do it by wound levels. It's really up to you.
Mm-hmm.
So when I generally play, I stick to fast static combat. It makes the game a lot quicker.
Makes combat a lot quicker. That's
Yeah.
for certain.
And then we
I
talk
like.
about some vehicle. Yeah.
I also like the fact that they actually added in the cover level.
The cover level.
Yeah, go back to the other page.
Oh, this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
darkness
Yeah.
can be considered as cover with the GM's whim.
Mm-hmm.
The GM's whim.
My whim.
Let's not talk about your whim.
I mean, you got ideas how to do vehicles, repairing vehicles, vehicle movement, how much vehicles cost, and things like that. Yeah, there was also one in Vampire the Masquerade, Werewolf, Soak. It's similar situation to D6. And then we got some example of vehicles that you can have.
I want a capital ship in my fantasy game. Can you
No,
just give it to me?
no.
I want to be commander.
You could be a commander of yourself.
What about? Can I have a car in my fantasy game?
No, you can't have
Oh,
a
come
car in your
on.
fantasy game.
There is examples of cars being a fantasy game.
Oh, I mean, yeah, sure there is, but you'd have no gas. You'd have to use alcohol, and then the engine would probably blow after a certain amount of time.
Oh no, I just converted to a steam engine.
Because you know how to do that?
Yeah, my character's smart like that.
Oh, okay.
My character will have uh, a 1973 Olds 88 Oldsmobile.
You mean a Delta?
A Delta.
You talking about Ash's car?
Yeah.
The old Delta? Then we have a magic system that isn't all that great, most people say, though I've never actually used the magic system itself. So I can't
Oh,
really
see,
comment.
Chris got it.
Yes, I understood what you were saying. I just was looking at you going, okay. Flintstones car? I mean, I guess you can have the Flintstones car.
See, there's ways for me to have my car in the fantasy. Now let's try to figure out a way for me to have my capital ship in fantasy.
You know how you have that? You have it on a piece of paper and you float in the air like this as you walk by.
Whee!
Whee! You could be the captain of your own paper capital ship. Just like when you were a kid and you made your own paper airplanes and threw them across the room.
You can't talk to me that way. I'm the captain.
You were doing it before it was cool. You went, hey, listen to me. I'm the
Hey,
captain now.
look at my eyes. Look at my eyes. I'm the captain now.
Yep. So magic is in this system is it's pretty much you roll to see if you beat the target number, and that's how it works. So you have to beat the target number, and sometimes these target numbers, I'm not sure how you reach some of these target numbers, because if you're putting obviously if you're playing a magic type character and there's a magic skill, you would probably put as many friggin' dice as you could possibly put into magic to get these numbers. What is Rob asking? How long for character creation? You could probably get it done in a matter of 10 minutes at
About
the
an hour.
most. About an hour, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on what you make. Depends on how simple it will be. Like if you're making a wizard or someone who has a more complicated system, yeah, it's going to take a lot longer.
What is this? I read a thing online and it ripped it off where we had a clockwork dragon in my game, young ones, and they took the druid and their wild shape, whatever it's called, meant that you could transform into, construct an equal mass, so our could change into a master cycle Z from the breath of, oh come on. That's a lot. Yeah, it only takes a few minutes to make up characters for it. And for example, I did some write ups on my blog. I'll bring
Are
it
you going to
over.
promote your blog? Oh,
Of
there you go.
course.
There it is.
Yeah, so I did Ash from Evil Dead series. It's not that difficult to write up characters. So, especially with static combat, it makes it easy. I made up the motivation, the history, the personality, the equipment, the perks I made up on my own. It's very simple to play this game.
Hmm.
So,
Who else did you write up?
um
Give
I
me
did
more examples. Did
I
you
did
write up
some
the Delta?
no, I did not write up the Delta. Why are you so obsessed with the Delta? I did the Deadites just like a typical Deadite. So, and I gave them perks based on what Deadites do: the possession, unnatural resilience, and prophetic demise. And they fly up in the air and they're like, "Rah, rah, rah," and they just say something dumb, and you're just like, yeah, whatever, suck my ass or whatever.
No bones about it.
Yeah. So
I got a bone to pick with you.
not as cheesy as that, but yeah, pretty much.
That's the exact lines that they used in the movie.
Did they?
Yeah,
Army of Darkness, maybe, but not Evil
but
Dead.
going back to the spells, I mean, this is groovy, baby. Um, it also depends on what you cast, obviously, but I think, in my opinion, it's the target number is the level of the spell. So healing, notice, doesn't have really doesn't have a target number, and slumber has a really low one,
Well,
and
it's the
light has a really
resist.
low one too.
It's the resist roll too. So you got a target number of 10. They
Uh-huh.
would roll resist roll, which is their wits, and you would add it to the 10. So it could vary. It could be anything, to be honest.
That seems a bit.
Uh,
I mean, to cast. I mean, I guess if you're casting on someone.
yeah. So you're gonna say I'm casting slumber on. Is it on the screen? Yeah, it is. Okay. You're casting slumber, say, on a couple of elves, for example, and they basically all have to roll their wit, give you the total, and that's the total you have. Like each person, each individual thing, or if the GM wants to do one giant total, up to them, would give you that number to add to your target number, and that's what you have to beat when you're rolling your magic.
Um, would a dead body resist resurrection? Which is on page 13.
There's there's only a 60 target number.
Oh, resistance none. I got you.
Yeah,
So if there's not a resistance, then it's just a plain target number then.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Some
Yeah,
of
it
them
seems
have like special, like teleport.
seems a bit high for some of these.
Well, resurrection should only be done by a character of a higher level, so I could see why it's a high target number for that. Because thinking about it, when you're playing D&D and stuff like that, you don't get resurrection until what 6, 7, maybe 8th level, around there.
Yeah.
So it's taking into account that you would have a lot of experience under your belt. So there's that.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not going to be like starting the game out being like, "Oh, I'm going to resurrect somebody." I mean, good luck getting 60. You got to do a lot of wild sixes there.
Yeah, for some of
I mean, it's
these.
possible. The good thing about it is you have access to pretty much, I think, these spells. I think there's a ruling on it. I don't forgot where it was. Here we go. When learning new spells, access this first spell. The book source of spell, one character point for any spell it contains. A spell containing up to 6 spells. Okay. So you have a spell book, you can actually learn new spells.
I guess you could make your own spells too.
Yeah, oh yeah, obviously. This is just an example. Again, this is just a toolkit with a lot of examples in it. It's kind of like Legos. or Lego.
Right.
Jeff, here's the base set. We have an idea for you. You want to build this house? Sure, but Jeff wants to build a skyscraper instead.
Good luck.
Good luck. Try doing it with the pieces we gave you.
It's my building. It's a little bit off. That's not a building. That's a wall. Poorly constructed wall. It's a building.
I don't
It's a
care.
spaceship. Leave me alone.
I'm a slumlord, so I don't care.
I'm Joe Pesci
Yeah,
in
I'm
the
Joe
soup.
Pesci in the soup. Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna play basketball.
Then I give you an idea, some enchanted items and potions and stuff like that. How it works. Again, make up your own shit.
I prefer the plains over the woods.
The plains over the woods.
Yeah, Jeff wants to build a cabin in the woods. No, I prefer a cabin in the plains.
I don't think I'd want to go to a cabin in the woods because of watching Evil Dead and stuff like that. So,
Why not? I've been to a cabin in the woods.
I mean, I've been there too, but I don't think I want to be there anymore.
I mean, if it's spooky, maybe not. Or it
But
also
would you
depends on how tired I am. It's like, fuck it, kill me. I don't care. I need to sleep.
now? Would you go to if you were on a hike?
Okay,
Okay, so you're on a hike and
right.
you're walking. You're doing your. Well, that's not the thing I wanted. Whoops. Let me get rid of this thing for a second so we can talk. Here, nice
Okay,
and
we're
cozy.
talking. We're
Nice and
we're
cozy.
hiking. We're walking.
We're walking. We're walking. Come this way, Jeff. Come this way. You're by yourself. You're hiking in the woods. It's like maybe like I don't know, a 10-mile trail, and it's obviously there's certain points along the way that you can stop and
Okay,
rest for
yeah.
the evening.
Rest stops. Okay.
Yeah, there's generally rest stops that the rangers put out there for people if they get caught at night, they can go rest in these lean-tos and stuff like that. But you stumble off the path, you get a little lost. You're doing your best. You got your compass and you're putting it to the ground and using your map, but it's getting dark. And also, you just see this little cabin in the middle of the woods by itself, not on the map anywhere. Are you going to go to that cabin and just go in there for the night?
Depends.
Okay.
I mean, is it condemned? Is there a roof? Is
It's
it
a
perfectly normal?
It looks like a perfectly normal cabin. I mean, you get up there, you see there's dust and everything around it. You go to the door, you can see there's maybe like, spider webs on it. The windows are kind of hazy because of probably like dirt and stuff like that. You look inside, you don't see anything. You open the door up, it smells stale. There's
Like
obviously,
people haven't been there in a while.
yeah, there's dust everywhere. There's cobwebs. It looks like someone's probably former summer house or something that they probably abandoned or left, never came
Or
back
somebody's
for.
summer house that just haven't been there in a year or two.
Yeah, or it could be abandoned. You don't know. You look at it, you could see there's dated technology as far as there's no TV or anything like that. There's no real electricity that you can see
Yeah, like they just want to go there to get rid of, not have to
off the
deal with
grid.
technology. Yeah,
Yeah. But this place is completely abandoned. There's no food. There's no running water. Obviously, because they shut that stuff off, or they go to the pump outside, whatever.
there's a witch in the basement that says "Dead by Dawn."
Yes, there is a witch in the basement. A space turd has made his way. Wonderful. There's a small gang of street gnomes, but other than that, perfectly normal cabin in the woods. Yeah, there's a small gang of street gnomes living in there, and they say hello to you.
Hey, buddy, what you doing here at our cabin? The one we
No.
don't go inside of.
So would you go there for the night?
Um,
It's dark. You
is it
can't find your
unlocked? Can I
way.
get inside?
Yeah, the door swings right open.
I mean, probably.
Probably.
Yeah,
Are you sure?
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't want to bury my ass. Wait, where am
Just
I?
one.
Where am I hiking at? Where?
The
What state?
Appalachians. The Appalachians. Yeah.
I don't want some hillbilly eating my ass.
Wait a minute. Whoa. Why is he eating your ass only, Jeff? What's going on here? What are you doing with the hillbilly?
Because he's a cannibal.
I mean, you're sleeping in the middle of the night, you hear ba-da-dum bum 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 bum.
My butthole clenches very tight.
It's
Almost,
like it's like
almost to the point
this.
where you can crush a diamond.
I mean, honestly, if I was sleeping in that cabin because I had no choice and I heard the bum 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 bum, I'd be like, "Fuck."
I mean, what else are you gonna do? If you could hear a banjo play, it's probably within 50 yards of you, maybe closer.
The question is why is he playing the banjo in the middle of the night?
Maybe he wants you to have a good night's rest. It's like, oh, maybe some calming banjo music will help him slumber better.
Yeah, because that's what usually those mountain men do. They play that banjo to make you go to sleep.
Me and my bear wife want you to sleep better.
Barrel wife?
Bear.
Oh, bear wife?
My bear wife wants you to sleep better.
Uh
That's the hillbilly eating the ass of the street gnomes.
yeah, pretty much. I mean, that'd be the new villain of the campaign.
I
No,
mean,
I
if
would not sleep in that fucking cabin.
so you're gonna walk out in the middle of the woods in pitch black, not knowing where the hell you're gonna have a Blair Witch Project situation. I'm gonna have a good night's sleep. You're gonna get your ass eaten by a Blair Witch.
First of all, the Blair Witch did not exist. That was all fake movie, Jeff. Relax, okay?
The Appalachian Goat Man's gonna eat your ass. Wolf, what was it? Good Dog Man.
Playing the banjo was an euphemism. No, that'd be playing the skin flute. That's an euphemism.
Ooh, that would not be eating ass. That'd be a totally different situation. Then you definitely sleep in the cabin. Then
So I want to know, since you keep bringing up ass eating in the comments, since
I
we're going
do.
that direction, not you, our
Okay.
viewers, is it actually literally eating an ass or is it eating an ass?
What do you
I'll
mean?
let the term eating ass.
What does that mean?
Look it up.
I don't know how to Google. Can you tell me what it is?
Hold on, I can do that for you, Jeff. Let me Google that for you.
You
Here we
guys,
go.
you're actually Googling it. Everybody pay attention to the reflection in Mrs. Glasses. Uh, it's like eating a girl. I know what it is. I'm joking.
Here you go, buddy. Let me Google that for you. I'll give it to you in a private chat.
No, I don't know how to use private chat. You have to share it, screen share it to get
Well,
demonetized to hell.
there you go. He told you it right there in the chat for you.
So tell
Click.
me more about these street gnomes now.
There you go. Chris is telling you exactly what the street gnomes are going to do to you, Jeff.
Demonetized, canceled.
No, it's not in the first 30 seconds, so we're fine. I think I'm going to get back to the screen share because I'm done doing the hillbilly adventure, ass eating exploration adventure. So,
is there an expiration for eating?
uh,
Uh,
so then we get some monsters for each genre. Just example of modern monsters, fantasy monsters.
there is a note in the top right-hand corner.
Huh?
There's a note in the top right-hand corner of the genre of animals. Just below the
Yeah.
picture.
Okay.
Animals have a wit score of 0 due to the limited intelligence. Even clever animals have this restriction.
Okay.
So even your smartest dog has a wit of 0.
Obviously, you could change that because dogs do have smarts.
No,
So.
they have 0 wits according to the game. Your dog is dumb as shit.
Damn dog, all he does is fart.
Fucking dog. I hate that dog.
It's your game, dude. You can do whatever you want. You can have your dog have 4 wits for all that matters.
It's a really smart dog. I like how he gives a little explanation of every animal in there. You see that?
Just about. You get like kind of like a large
It's an elk,
herbivore,
but it has a picture of a moose. It says any large herbivore.
but it has the antlers. See,
No, that's definitely moose antlers, dude.
even with these here too, and this,
Which one are you pointing at?
both of them that would give you an elk. So
Yeah, elks don't have that kind of antlers. Only moose do.
use your damn imagination, sir.
It's a moose elk.
It's an elk moose.
Elk moose. You want to elk the moose. Okay. Snakes are an archaeologist's nightmare. Nice. Very nice. I love that.
A pirate's best friend is a monkey.
I thought that was more a parrot.
That's what I thought, but I guess it depends on which pirate story you're reading. There have been some monkeys on ships that pirates use. So
I don't see a bird on here, though. Maybe they're later on. Confidence, man. I have a deal for you. Let's talk about this cabin you keep talking about.
let's talk about these ass-eating gnomes.
Street gnomes. Street gnomes, sir.
Oh, excuse me. And they even give you some monsters for like a Call of Cthulhu type game too.
Very nice.
So you could basically do whatever you want. Let's see. Do we have any
Go back to Bad Scientist, which is page 15. 1.21
gigawatts? Gigawatts.
Gigawatts. They made they actually put in the wrong way to spell it.
I think he did it on purpose.
No, they in the movie they didn't know that's how you say gigawatt, so they said it gigawatt.
Oh, got it. Let's see. Do we have maybe we have a bird in here? No.
Yeah, dragon. Does that count? They have rats of unusual size.
They do.
No, no birds.
Yeah.
So there's no bird. Okay, well, confirmed. Birds don't exist.
They exist, you dummy.
Confirmed to this game. Birds don't exist.
The Gorgon is basically just a cow or a bull, I should think. I don't know.
The Gorgon?
Yeah.
Let's see.
It looks like a steer.
I thought the Gorgon was like Medusa type characters.
That's
But there is a Medusa in there.
Yeah, there is a Medusa right here. She's a stone cold killer. You got some vampires too.
But they're only located at Hot Topic. Oh, do the orcs have pig noses?
Let's
Or
see
is
if
it?
it's
That's yeah, that's orcs, right?
yeah. No, well, it's hard to tell with this picture, but I think so because that kind of looks like a snout thing going on there.
Kind of funny thing about that, Chris, is that the CPC or CCP actually came out with drones that were designed to look like birds.
The leading cause of death among pirates is monkeypox. That's why parrots were better.
There you go. See.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
There's actually a bird in here. It's the phoenix.
So there you go.
A bird exists in this world.
It's not a bird. It's a bee bird.
It's the eternal bird.
That's correct.
And it's the word.
You got some optional rules here, paranormal abilities, so you can play things like Ghostbusters or something. They give you a little bit of advice on expanding attributes, beginning dice, stuff like that.
Yeah,
If you get six attributes instead of 4, he suggests to divide 18. So that was we said 3, which was So actually, I was kind of right on there when I said 3 dice.
Right on the money. You hit a bullseye there.
It talks about increasing the attribute range and higher prices and stuff like that. Varying skill dice. This is kind of like a GM optional rules section.
Well,
Uh,
Rick, we emphasized that the scenario was you're on a hike. You're not going to have a axe or building materials for
oh well,
your.
if you're a hiker, you probably would have a utility axe. I'm thinking,
No, not for a hike.
why not? If you're a hiker, generally
You would
hikers
have
have
you
those
might have a
things.
blanket. You might have a spare set of clothes, suntan lotion, a little bit of extra food, water, a
And dice,
hiking stick, dice, of course. Uh,
in case you
but
meet that random gamer in the woods.
maybe at best you may have a utility knife because you do. There are some things where you need to cut. Might need to cut a piece of rope or whatever.
Would you have like a buck knife with you, or
You might have a buck knife. You might have a utility knife. I would suggest a utility knife over a buck knife because then you have the pliers there too.
that's true.
Pliers come into handy. But yeah, you wouldn't have an axe or a saw with you.
They also talk about rolling limits, which we probably should have done when we played Star Wars since we had so many friggin' dice. Cut the dice off at 5 and then add the average of the dice to the rest of the rolls. So,
How I don't understand how you would do that. The average, so what, 3?
yeah. So every dice over 5 would be 3 points just added to the total. That's all.
Your hike becomes a game of Minecraft. You build a kingdom in the woods. Yeah. I find a village and start and start making them into my workers. Start making a farm.
Now we talk about making your own game. So how you can take one of um, this toolkit up until right now we're at 20 pages out of 32 or something like that, 38. Talk about making your own settings and
Mm-hmm.
if you want to translate open fantasy, open adventure, or sci-fi to mini six equivalent, what attribute lines up and what skills line up and things like that. And talking about campaign ways and stuff like that. Are we still stuck on the hike?
Let's talk about Minecraft for a minute.
Oh, God,
What's
no,
your
I'm
favorite
done.
wood to do to build a house with?
Fancy
Mine's
wood,
dark. Mine's dark oak.
dark oak. Yeah, dark oak is kind of nice looking. They talk a little bit about this forums that don't exist anymore. The
Mm-hmm.
website forums, those disappeared probably 10 something years
Can,
ago.
can you look them up? Can you share screen and look them up?
They don't exist anymore. Look, see, blank page. They haven't been around for 10 plus years.
Oh, gotta buy that website then. So every time someone looks at this book, they go to your website.
I could do that, you're right, but think I think somebody owns the website. Let's see who owns URL. Let's see who owns wegfansite.com. I'm pretty sure somebody still owns it. Let's
Yeah,
see.
it's always good to carry an. Even on a hike, it's always good to carry a gun because there are still crazies out there.
It's registered under GoDaddy. Someone has it until 2025. I don't know who though. Yeah, if you're gonna go hiking into the woods, definitely carry a gun with you, especially if you're by yourself.
Mm.
You're gonna want some type of protection because you don't know there's crazy people in the woods.
Yeah, I mean, they lead they think that the government's spying on them, and drug addicts use the woods all the time.
Yeah, I mean, you might think you're lizard people or something.
Right.
Then we get some sample settings. So he basically goes and jams as much as possible into 2 pages for a setting that you could pretty much just play. No, it's actually kind of cool because this right here is Firefly with the serial numbers wiped off. He basically made Firefly for you right here.
Very nice. Oh yeah, I mean that's the ship, right?
Uh huh. But yeah, he basically did it for you, so you didn't have to, and you can play a whole game. Boom. And then we have a D&D like setting here, which I love this map.
It's a very nice map.
Yeah, I like maps like this. It's just plain simple black and white map.
I like Westron. Westron for life.
Well, uh, I'm a Devmora for life.
Like more like dumbass Mora.
Oh, oh, you're like Dumbtron. Mountain lions. Yeah, I guess mountain lions would be a threat.
Well, I mean that's why he has a firefly. But yeah, that's why you carry around a 357.
I mean, a 9mm would be fine because you could practically scare half those animals away by just shooting into the air.
Grizzlies not so much. Everything else maybe.
Grizzly, really? When the fact that you can walk up to a grizzly going like this with your arms out and he'll run away?
That's a black bear. Grizzly will absolutely come up and eat your ass.
Why is everything eating ass, Jeff?
Because that's what it does. But not, it won't be just. It won't stop with your ass. It'll just go to everything else too.
It's not going to
No,
tickle your bunghole and walk away.
if you see if you see a grizzly with a cub, oh, just try your best to stay away. Even if you have a 9mm, it will absolutely come and try to kill you. Uh, some hikers not died not too long ago because they did that shit.
To a grizzly?
Yeah, they walked across. They came across a mother and its cub, and they try to protect themselves because they say cover your neck. No, this grizzly just
Mauled
absolutely
them?
destroyed them.
I mean, how about playing dead? Does that work?
No, not. I mean, depends on the situation. I mean, if it's just curious, yeah, you might get away with it. If it's hungry, no. If it's protecting its cub, no.
Just reskin a grizzly fish stats for an ass eating stream. Space turd stuck on the street gnomes. Probably safer in the woods than in most major cities. Well, probably Detroit, Chicago. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, that's where the crackheads hang out.
It's a good city. They're telling you that.
I mean, Westron is maybe not Dixon or Daxon, whatever you called it.
Devmora, Jeff.
The more of that's where that's where all the street gnomes hang out. The more
All the ass eating street gnomes hang out there. Then we have a kind of a Ghostbusters like setting, but more Victorian times. So you can actually play Ghostbusters, but
steampunk ghost
yeah,
punk
Ghost Punk. Yeah, that actually would be a good way to
ghost punk
describe it.
steam busters.
Unless you're Deadshot. I mean, what if you're that guy in the Olympics that was shooting the gun? All you needed was a pair of glasses and his gun.
No, you could literally take a 9mm and shoot a grizzly in the head. It'll deflect off. Those things have thick ass skulls.
Like you, thick ass skull.
It's like if you want to go kill an alligator, depending on the size of the alligator, don't take a 9mm. You'll just
Well,
upset
yeah,
it.
its skin is so thick. So
Go on.
it makes no sense.
Tell me about its thick skin.
I bet you want to touch it, Jeff.
Thick, scaly skin. Uh, no, but yeah, don't take a 9mm to an alligator. Don't take a 9mm to a jabalina or a wild hog. A wild hog would just take the bullet, soak it, and just eat you.
Sure. We have a good cop, bad cop, buddy cop situation going on here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you could play like the 70s like cop game if you want to.
Uh-huh.
I can't see that being too much fun, but I guess if some people are into it.
I mean, we are playing Shadowrun.
That's different though. I like the Victorian League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. You could probably play that.
I like that movie. I don't know why it got such a bad rap.
Because it didn't. I think some people said it didn't follow the source material, but then again, who cares? I mean, I don't know.
It was a comic book. Yeah, they didn't follow the source material, but it still doesn't mean it's a bad movie. If
No,
you have not read the comic book like I haven't, it's a good movie.
You have to go into it and know it's never going to be the same as the source material. So just remember that. Unless it's obviously like, the Acolyte, then you want to vomit all over the floor. So
And I'll probably get a little bit hate for this, but I didn't think the Hobbit series from Peter Jackson was that bad either. And I've
what
read the source
series?
material.
What's it? What movie?
The Hobbit by Peter Jackson.
Oh yeah, they weren't bad. They were good.
Yeah, and I've actually read the source material, and it's not that bad. It stays pretty close. It's better
Yeah.
than that cartoon one from the 70s.
Oh my god, I had to sit through that. I had to sit through that in English class in sixth, seventh grade in junior high because our
hmm
English teacher made us read. He got us to read The Hobbit in class, and we were like, okay, cool. And then we had to watch the Hobbit cartoon, and I wanted to dive out the window because it was so bad.
Oh yeah, it was. I mean, the way they made the elves look like blue, they look like blue versions of Gollum. I was like, what the fuck?
And here's one part of it that I really love. Here's your Star Wars setting right here.
Uh, I read the series.
Imperium
I
in
read the movies.
revolt.
Blue Chunks. I wasn't even pretending to be close. What are you talking about? It was very close. It stayed pretty close to the material too.
Well,
I
you can
mean,
play your Star Wars game right here.
Star Wars game, or mix Star Wars and Firefly.
Well, this is a separate thing. Firefly is another setting. So
I even liked it where Peter Jackson kind of integrated the orcs into the Hobbit to make Lord of the Rings later on, instead of just using goblins. Frodo.
then we have our character sheet, and that's it. And then like a quick screen for everything else in the book.
Uh, Rick, you should check out the retroscope of Lord of the Rings they did after the Hobbit. That's a cringe city right there.
You
But
you should watch Rings of Power when you have a few moments because it's awesome. And
are you talking about the new season?
no,
I haven't seen. I've only seen the first episode of the first season,
that's
and then it got worse after that.
I really want to go back and watch it because like the second season looks so awesome in the trailer,
It does, but
and it
I'm
makes me
just
want to
afraid of the
watch
cringe.
it. And I'm just like, I have to sit through that first episode again with that fucking guy. And
Elrond.
is that what his name was? I didn't even get his name because I didn't care.
It was Elrond, I believe. He was back in the days of the Galadriel.
Was it L.
Uh,
Ron Hubbard?
yes, Elrond Hubbard, and that's before he made Scientology. He was an elf.
I mean, they
Uh,
went from that awesome opening with the elves and all that thing, and then they went to this dude walking inside the what was it, the cabin, and I was just like, I don't care. Go back to the elves. And he was sitting there talking and talking, and I was just like, this is boring. This is boring, and I'm done. I was done with the show. It
it's like
didn't
get
interest
to
me at
the
all.
point.
So go ahead and go pick up Mini Six and play your adventures. And yeah, we'll probably use this just when we play fantasy, Jeff. So I don't know.
I mean, we could. We don't necessarily have to play what
Can we go back to talking about gnomes instead of Rings of Power, please?
the ass eating street gnomes.
Fine. What about the ass eating street gnomes? You're in the cabin. The street gnomes are sitting there.
They eat your ass.
I mean, if you want to eat your ass, go for it, dude.
All right, would you take the
Oh
ass eating
God.
street gnomes over which one would you rather deal with? All right. Would you
Well,
rather deal with
let me get the proper thing up here for you. Hold on a second, Jeff. Hold on. Since it's that time again, uh, would you rather question time? Here we go.
would you rather deal with ass eating gnomes like
Ass
you
eating gnome.
personally
Me
or Uni
personally.
from the Dungeons and Dragons?
Ugh.
And yes, they will absolutely whenever you go to somewhere they will eat your ass every single time.
They're gonna follow me around. Eat my
They're
ass
gonna
the
follow
entire-
you around. Which would you rather have?
Probably Uni, because at least I can kill Uni.
Oh, you actually took the unicorn. See, I knew you liked Uni.
No, I don't. At least gnome hands are small. Why? Because it'll make it look big when it grabs it. I don't know.
The Lord of the Rings cartoon sucked. Not watching Ring of Power, which still is not as bad as Wheel of Time, horrific BS.
Was the Wheel of Time show bad? Because I never even watched it. I don't know. Jeff, did you watch the Wheel of Time?
I did not.
Oh,
I never got into that book, so I don't know anything about it. I'm guessing there's a wheel and some sort of time.
yes, you nailed it right there.
No cartoon with the title where there's a whip, there's a way. Can't be that bad. I mean,
No, probably not.
it wasn't that bad. I just thought I didn't like the retroscope. What is it called? Roroscope. Where they cartoonalize live action.
Oh,
Stereoscope.
I think that's what it's called. Yeah, I
That
can.
part's cringy.
Wheel of Time was horrific. Yeah, everyone pretty much said it's been horrific. So I don't know.
Um, what was your favorite? Have
Wow.
you watched that yet?
No, I have not watched that yet.
You should. You'll like
I'm
it.
not. I haven't even finished past episode 2 of the TV series, so I've
Well,
other
it's a
things to
movie, so you
watch.
don't have to worry about the TV series. Rotoscope. Thank you.
I have a lot of friends that were into the books, the novels, and everything. Didn't it take like forever to like get the last couple of books out, and it was written by someone completely different anyway? I
Well,
don't know.
that's like the Game of Thrones ones, right? Where J.R. Tolkien had to hire somebody else to write his last book because he couldn't keep up with the show.
Well, I mean, didn't they skew away from the material after what season 2? Anyway, or they blew their whole load on the material already. I mean, they were so far ahead
I think the last 2 seasons, uh, they couldn't use any source material whatsoever.
because they had no source material, or he wouldn't let them use source material.
There was no source material.
Oh, okay.
Like he could not keep up with the show. The last 2 seasons, they had to go completely without source material.
Mm. Well, I mean, that's better than I don't know. Did you ever watch the one? What?
Oh, what Chris said. The guy who was the showrunner said he took pride in not reading the books. That's like the guy who did uh, Starship Troopers.
The guy who did. What about the guy who did Starship Troopers?
The guy who directed Starship Troopers never read the book.
Yeah, because the book was fucking boring compared to the movie.
Actually,
Sorry.
the book wasn't too bad.
Nah, I didn't. I fell asleep trying to read that book.
It was
I was all excited about that after the movie, and I'm just like, lame.
maybe if you go back to it, you'll enjoy it.
Brandon Sanderson, that's right. He's also getting a role playing game coming out now too. Finally, well, he had one for Mistborn for a while that was out, and now it's done. But he's got his own Kickstarter coming out. I don't think a lot of people are going to play the game. Where the hell is it?
Yeah, J.R. Martin. Is it G.R. or J.R.R. Martin?
Here we go. Cosmere, the role playing game. I mean, he got his goal. He got 9 million of the 250,000 goal. So
9 million.
yeah,
Jeez.
he's a very popular author. He's a very good writer too. I've read some of his books; they're pretty good.
Dune, the first book was pretty good. It gets kind of weird after that.
Isn't Dune another situation where someone else took over the writing?
No, I think
Oh,
he did all the books. It's just the direction he took them in was a really weird.
Is it? Okay,
Yeah,
I've only
I mean
read the first Dune.
he got his money, and so why would he need to finish? I mean, I know people enjoyed the series, but there's no incentive when you have the money you want. It's like kind of like what we'd saying before, George R. R. Martin. Thank you. Um, but it's like cheating in a game. You know, once you've hollowed that victory out, there's no reason really to continue. Same thing with you get the money you want. Why continue on, even though people enjoy your product?
I am absolutely happy that this game is not built off of D&D 5e because that's what everybody does. And this one's just basically a D20 game. Roll D20, add the skill, beat a difficulty number, you're done. So it's
So
not
it's
stupid 5e.
based off of D6.
No, it's based off of like D&D 3e, D20 rules or something like that.
Oh, his son wrote the sequels. Okay,
That's what I thought.
that's why. Is that why it went into such a weird direction? Like a dude turning into a giant worm.
You don't want to see his giant worm, Jeff?
No, he's not his giant worm. He turns into a giant worm.
So you want to see his giant worm, is what you're saying?
He is a giant worm. He's a giant
Sure,
sandworm.
Jeff. Sure, Jeff.
And like the hero, of the story ends up becoming a pariah, and just leaving.
Oh, it's a video. Whoops.
Hi, I'm here to sell you my book.
Buy my book. Buy my
Buy my
book.
book.
Fucking critic.
That was the best show. I wish that he would have come back. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but a lot of these movies today need to be critiqued.
I'm sure everybody here remembers the critic. They have to remember the critic, or at least most people do. Yep. Some people have to remember it. I mean, right?
Yeah, with John Lovitz. Yeah.
It stinks. It was a great cartoon.
Uh, if you were to make the critic come back out, which movie would you like to see him criticize?
Star Wars.
You want him to
Let
do
him
the new Star Wars?
let him do the new Star Wars movies. Yeah.
I would like to see him to do the Acolyte.
Well, yeah.
Instead of we are one, we are two, more like we are stinky.
We are stinks. It stinks.
It stinks.
It was a
Yeah, I
good
would love
show.
to see John Lovitz come out again with these with an actual criticizing newer movies.
Huh. I didn't realize it lasted 7 years. It did? Why? It's 1994 to 2001?
I think they did a web series for a little bit.
What's this? It's got 33 episodes. Oh, it had 3 seasons. I guess it must have been a time jump between the seasons.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
so.
yeah, there was like 5-year time jump between the seasons. Holy cow. I bet I'd never seen the last season of this show because I thought it was done after the second season. Oh, I'll
How
definitely
about
go
you
check that out.
guys? What if we could bring back John Lovitz as a critic? What movie would you like to see him criticize? Pretty sure there's some good answers.
Indy 4.
The Matrix Resurrection.
Yeah. The Marvels.
Well, absolutely. Any Disney product he'd probably do. Um,
Yeah. To hell with 5e.
let's see. I'm trying to think of any movie I've seen lately that I've actually enjoyed, because there's a lot of movies out there that I didn't watch because I was like, "There's no way in hell I'm going to watch those movies."
Yeah. I agree. Oh. All right. Well, we're getting up about almost 7, so it's time to wrap things up as we're chatting away here. We'll be back on Friday for our members only chat, fireside chat with me and Jeff. Thank
Yep.
you for
Members only.
stopping by. Don't forget to hit that like button. If you're on X, hit that like there or heart the post
Smash that like button.
or
Or like that
like
smash
that
button.
smash button. If you're on Facebook, like the video as well. We'll see you next time for another video next week. We'll talk about something else. Hopefully, you enjoyed Mini 6. If you want to go buy it, it's free. Drive through RPG. Just look up Mini 6. And there's a couple games by it too, but we didn't get into that. We'll probably get into that next time.